Hi, this is Snoop Dogg, and you're about to see the best sports and entertainment talk show on the internet with your host, Troy Geary. The man who seems to go to every sporting event, and Dave Stevens born without legs, but won 7 Emmys and played college football and minor league baseball. Throw in Will Stein wherever Will Stein is, and you've got a heck of a show. It's the Geary, Stein, and Stevens Show. Faux shizzle.
You got to take my card. Functional medicine.
All right, welcome back to Radio Row. Dave Stevens here, just about to capping off a great day. And again, this is one of my favorite moments of the week. Like, we are friends, but we only get to see each other like once a year. It's mostly an amazing philanthropy type things that we do for our veterans. And I've got a veteran with us and a guy that really has made an impact off the field since his career. I got Nate Boyer joining me, and we're going to just talk a little MVP, which is merging vets and players. It's something he created post his Green Beret career and with the Seattle Seahawks. And I was talking about you and I played in that game so long ago. You had just come off of everything you were doing, and you kind of didn't know what your life direction was taking, where you were going to go. And man, you invented MVP. You guys have created some amazing things that are really helping veterans. So talk a little bit about how it started and where you are today.
Yeah, so I co-founded MVP in 2015 with Jay Glazer. It was just a few months after I'd gotten cut from the Seahawks. And before that, I played college football at Texas. I was in the military for roughly 10 years, the last 4 being in the National Guard while I was in college. So I had the team room in the military, I had the locker room in football, the uniform to identify with, whether it was a jersey or camouflage. And then, are we not?
Is that on? No. Now it's on. Okay, here we go. Start over. They heard the question. You can do the answer.
Okay. So MVP was started in 2015, just a few months after I got cut from the Seahawks, actually. I'd spent roughly 10 years in the military, last 4 of those being in the National Guard when I was playing college football in Texas. And I had the locker room in football, the team room in the military, the jersey to identify with in football, the camouflage in the military, the camaraderie, all those things. And then all of a sudden I had 0 of those things. And it was tough. It was tough like trying to figure out, I had all this passion and drive and dreams, but when you don't have a team or you feel like you're now sort of kind of doing it on your own and you don't have the same structure and environment, it can be challenging. So Jay and I decided to co-found Merging Vets and Players. Jay Glazer, who owns a gym called Unbreakable Performance Center, he had helped train me for that opportunity at the next level after college. And when I got cut, he said, "Hey man, there's a lot of athletes that go through this, and really struggle with transitioning and moving on, and remembering the past, being proud of it, but like transferring that into the future." And he's like, "I can only imagine veterans often feel the same way," and he's right. So we decided to co-found this organization that brings those 2 groups together and helps them find that next thing. And the best way to work through something is with your peers that have experienced something similar, I think. So that's why we started MVP. We have chapters all over the country. We meet on a weekly basis, and we'll train together for about 45 minutes, and then we huddle up afterwards, and it's just peer-to-peer, open forum. Nothing's off the table. We just talk about our stuff, good, bad, and ugly, and help each other through it.
But you have really reinvented yourself. I know I came to your set when you were filming that detective movie that you guys did, and
in Western Mass.
It was cold, but and again, what you do is you bring everybody that's involved with these projects almost down to the catering. They're veterans, and it really to see that teamwork and then to put together. If you have an opportunity to see this movie called MVP, it truly was. I walked out of that theater that night at the premiere, and it's still one of the most impactful movies I've ever seen because of what it describes, how it shows that perspective from the veterans. And there are so many suicides and so many things that we need to. We need to take care of. We need to help those people. When I saw that movie, I was just totally moved. So talk a little bit about these projects that you do that not only helps bring veterans, but gives them a new opportunity to do a field that they're not familiar with.
Yeah, no, thank you, Dave. If you get a chance to watch the movie, it's on Prime, Apple TV. I think it's still on Paramount Plus, but it's soon transitioning to maybe Tubi and some other places. But you'll find it. Just look up Google MVP the movie. You'll find where it's at. But yeah, we've started to try to work more in some different spaces as well. We actually recently got a grant from Dick's Sporting Goods. And that was through Quinn Ewers, who's a quarterback at Texas, and he's now going to make his leap to the NFL. And, we want to work more with young people, youth, that may never get the opportunity to play, sports at a high level. And if they do, that's great too. But I think what we're trying to cultivate from a leadership perspective and from a wellness perspective and like loving yourself perspective among these vets and athletes is something that translates to everybody. I think I know it, I think even if I didn't play sports, even before I played sports, before I was in the military, I struggled with this stuff. And it's like, I don't know if it's a sign of the times or if it's just the human nature of us. I'm not sure. But at the end of the day, like we can't really love other people and love other things and maybe be the most effective as we possibly can in the community until we are able to accept love from others, but also accept that we should probably love ourselves. You know what I mean? And that we're good people at our core, even though we're not perfect. And having a little grace, that's one thing I've struggled with for years, is like having grace with myself. Because I do stupid things. I make bad decisions. I have bad thoughts. I say things I shouldn't say. And it's hard to forgive yourself. It's easier to forgive other people for some reason, but it's hard to forgive yourself. And it's just, it's not a healthy way of living. And everybody struggles with that. Everybody does those things. Everybody, makes mistakes. And I think that is something we really try to preach at MVP. Because there's, from veterans especially, oftentimes hold on to a lot of guilt, survivor's guilt, or feeling like I could have done more, or something was my fault, and it's just not fair. You're putting yourself in those circumstances, those situations. You're willing to sacrifice and do these things. It's not going to always go as planned, and unfortunately, you're going to lose people, along the way. And it's tough. So I think that's something that we're really trying to focus on now, is not just serving the veterans and athletes. We're a community of veterans and athletes, but working with other groups and people, and I think and Dick's Sporting Goods really wants us to focus on some youth programs. And I was like, you're forcing our hand by giving us a grant here. We should take it, and we should do this. And now it's like we're diving into that. So that's something we're going to be starting up here soon.
It's so funny to have watched you evolve. I mean, did you ever dream you'd be hosting a TV show on NFL Network and all of the opportunities, and now you're working on a documentary? I mean, the evolution of Nate Boyer, is that where you thought you might be 5-10 years ago?
Definitely didn't think I would be there. Dreamed about it for sure, but it's not that it's easy. None of it's easy, but it's simple. These things are simple. You just have to show up and try, and show up again the next day and try again. And like, you're gonna fail a bunch, and it's not always gonna go as planned, and it's hard. And like we mentioned the documentary, trying to make this 80th anniversary D-Day documentary right now, and the challenges with that is we're still a little short on the funding, and we're pausing. And I've got these guys that are 105 years old that are they're gonna die soon, and I want to get this thing done and see it, and have them see it. So it's like, I think we're making something really cool, but it's not without its challenges. But we got to keep trying. We got to keep showing up and doing what we can. So that is just that's all of it. Like they say that there's a quote. It's like life is 90% showing up or something like that. It's so true. You just got to keep showing up, keep doing your best, have a good attitude, right place, right time, right uniform. All the things they taught us in the military. That applies to everybody in life.
Well, you've outdone yourself this time by everything that you do. I mean, it's just watching you grow and the impact that you're making in lives. And I know that you don't like to get credit or take credit. I know you and Jay are both working on this thing, but keep doing what you're doing and the impact your lives. And I wish I got to see you more, but keep going. And one more time, the website they can follow?
Vetsandplayers.org.
Vetsandplayers.org, and Nate's personal Facebook and Instagram. What's the best way?
Nate Boyer 37.
Yep. All right. Nate Boyer joining us. He's so busy. He's running around. He's got to take off. But again, thank you, brother.
Love you, brother.
Always great to see you. Thank you for stopping by. It's busy here on Radio Row. We got more people coming up. Daryl Johnson, Moose from the Dallas Cowboys. Now he's the co-president of the UFL. You want to make a comeback, Nate?
Huh?
You want to make a football comeback?
Do I want to make a football comeback? I mean, who doesn't? But I'm 44 now, Dave, not 34. I don't think it's going to happen. I got sciatica, man.
All right, Nate, thanks.
But I do love Moose. That's great.
There you go. All right, we are here on Radio Row, still having fun. It is so crowded here now. I can't even get around in my wheelchair. I'm sitting there crawling around over bags and stuff like that. We got great food though. We had a wonderful Ike sandwiches are here. We got hundreds of sandwiches here sitting behind me, just delicious. It's great. They really take care of the people here. So watch us, continue to follow us on all social media platforms. That's going to do it for this edition of Erie Stan and Stevens. Well, it's mostly Stevens. So we'll see you afterwards. Take care and watch us every time we're out.